The NFL playoff is set, and the NFC wildcard round, the 6th-seeded Lions face the 3rd-seeded Seahawks. The New York Football Giants, with the 5 seed, will take on the 4-seed Packers, and the Falcons will host the highest winning seed from the NFC wildcard round, and the NFC-leading Cowboys will host the lower seed. So the question is, will the number 1 seed Cowboys win the Super Bowl? My man.
Hell no. Let's just start it off right there. Let me be very, very clear to America. The Cowboys, this is supposedly America's team and the whole stuff, and we know we got Cowboy Nation out there. It's a big fan base. I want to go on the record. I understand that they're the number 1 seed. I understand that they got the dynamic duo as the rookies in Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. I understand the season that they had. I get all of that. I just want to announce to the world right now, I don't care if it's the Titanic or whatever's going down. I'm going down with the ship. The Dallas Cowboys will not, I repeat, will not win the Super Bowl. They will lose. A matter of fact, I'm sitting here saying they ain't even winning the daggone playoff game. They ain't going to lose in 2 weeks because Detroit ain't beat Seattle. That means it's going to be the Giants or the Packers. All right, that means it's Aaron Rodgers or Eli Manning with OBJ or the whole crew. It does not matter. The Dallas Cowboys are going down. I'm going to start it off right now. We're going to get this out the way because I certainly don't want to spend my day talking about the Cowboys. I'll deal with them a little bit more later. But I want to be very, very clear on our debut. Right here on ESPN. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed but the rent, all right? We on ESPN now, not ESPN2, but Stephen A is Stephen A. Be
Still
very,
wrong.
very clear.
Still wrong.
Your Dallas
Just
Cowboys
because we go to ESPN
they ain't winning
doesn't mean
anything.
you start to be right.
Well, you know, I can be prophetic at times. We all know this. We all know this. But at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys are not winning. And I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Come February, when there's a Super Bowl champion crowned, it will not be those dudes with those stars in their helmets and playing in a $1 billion playpen with the most disgusting, obnoxious, delusional fan base in American history. They will not be celebrating. The Dallas Cowboys will go down. Actually, I'm thinking it's about the next 2 weeks, just like I said, to the Cowboys. I'm sorry, to the Giants or the Packers.
Well, yeah, the Giants can certainly beat them. They beat them twice during the regular season, although it's difficult to beat a team 3 times in the same season, divisional rival. But what strikes me is just because we moved from ESPN2 to ESPN, that doesn't change anything for you. You still want to be wrong on every debate.
Well, it doesn't change anything wrong for me because I'm omnipresent. I'm all over the place, and I'm usually right.
You still want to catch these L's. You still want to catch these L's in every debate.
Whatever. I think you're a bit sensitive to the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, from wire to wire, have been the best team in the NFC, except for the matchup with the Giants. The Giants have their number, and again, it's going to be hard to beat them 3 times if the Giants get there. They've been the best team in the NFC, wire to wire. The best point differential. They finished the year 3rd overall in the NFL, but they spent the most weeks as the best team in the NFC and tailed off a little bit at the end. 1, because they had to play the Giants, and 2, the game against the Eagles, they're rested. You know, Zeke doesn't get a carry. That's not the Cowboys. They got nothing to play for. Eagles didn't have their draft pick anyway, so they're highly motivated
you're giving them
to
a
win.
chance?
The Cowboys should be the overwhelming favorites to get out of the NFC. And once they're there, I don't see where the Patriots, say, necessarily should even be favored in that matchup. Of course the Giants, Freudian slip, the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl. Of course they can.
Hold on. Am I listening correctly?
Yeah.
Is Max Kellerman telling me that the Dallas Cowboys should be the favorites, period, over everybody playing in the postseason? That the Dallas Cowboys should be the prohibitive favorites to capture the Super Bowl championship? I want you to be clear before you answer this question.
They should be the favorites in the NFC.
Before you answer this question, you have to go back to New York. Be careful with your answer. I mean, the people are watching. You're going to sit up here and say with a straight face, with no compunction whatsoever, with no hesitancy, with no apprehension or trepidation, you're going to say that the Dallas Cowboys should be the favorites?
Now, look, I am a Giants fan.
Go ahead.
Unlike you, apparently, I am an empiricist. That means when evidence comes in, I got to weigh it. It's got to affect my decision.
Oh, please.
You, my friend, on this topic, on the topic of the Dallas Cowboys, you are very religious. In other words, you have an undisprovable hypothesis.
That's true.
Your hypothesis is if anything can go wrong, it will. No amount of evidence can move you off that hypothesis.
May I answer that?
Therefore, it's with religious devotion that you say that.
May I answer this? Because, you know, listen, the mathematician himself, Spock Kellerman, the pragmatic individual that you are, there have been many, many times where you felt the need to try and educate me based on numbers, facts, and history. All 3 are in my... Hold on. all three are in my favor when it comes to me talking about the Cowboys. What numbers, what facts, what history disputes my proclamation that they are an accident waiting to happen? I'm talking about history.
Yep. Let's take the last 5 years. Let's take recent history.
The last 5?
Yep. 2011, they started using their first-round picks on offensive linemen. That's where the seeds were sown for this season.
I understand that.
And that really showed you when Stephen Jones started taking control of the franchise from Jerry Jones. There was no better example of that because they take Tyron Smith, they take Travis Frederick, and there was no better example of that than when Johnny Manziel was on the board and they took Zach Martin.
Here we go. Listen,
that's when the franchise
they probably heard the news that Johnny Manziel was at some bar and said, we go chill.
You think Jerry didn't want him? Do you think Jerry wanted him? Do you think Jerry wanted him?
I think Jerry wanted him, but they had to guard themselves. Listen.
If anything could go wrong, it would.
Wait a minute. Have you ever heard of the White House?
Yes.
Not the White House in D.C. There's another White House.
Yes.
Okay, that particular White House, does Johnny Manziel need to be there? I'm just saying. I mean, when you talk about motivation to make you hesitant, I mean, wouldn't that be applicable? I mean, the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. Then you also said the last 5 years. Well, do you know that in the last 5 years the Cowboys only made the playoffs one time?
That means 4 times for an offensive line to come together.
I'm sorry, I thought that offensive line was potent last year. I thought the offensive line was potent the year before.
That's right.
They went 12
and then once that's there, you need to find your quarterback who can stay healthy. Dak Prescott.
Whoa. Tony Romo was healthy?
No, he wasn't.
Excuse me. He was healthy 2 of those 3 years when they went 8-8, lost the last game of the regular season.
And the team wasn't quite ready yet.
Was he playing when 2 years ago when they were 12-4 and they lost it?
No.
Max Kellerman gives my brother. Max Kellerman gives me numbers. He gives me facts and he gives me history. I just give it to you and now you're going to bring up now? When I bring up now, it's not good enough. But when you bring up now, it's okay.
That's right. When I say it, it's better. That's exactly
right. All right. That's okay. Look, go ahead.
Right now, we're talking about right now. The Cowboys, if what you're saying is true, would have taken Johnny Manziel instead of Zach Martin. That's a Cowboys-type move. That's a Jerry Jones getting in his own way type move. This franchise has changed. Stephen Jones has much more control. He's made very good decisions, and there's a favorite in the NFC.
I just want to be clear because, see, you're the one that got to go back to New York, too. So I just want to be clear. The Giants fan that is Max Kellerman is drinking the Cowboy sauce, the Cowboy Kool-Aid. That's what we're doing, right?
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. If the Giants play the Cowboys...
That's where I'm going. Hold on.
They got to get by Green Bay.
I'm going to your point. If the Giants... Because you're picking the Giants to beat Green Bay because you're a Giants fan.
We'll see.
Okay, we'll see. I like that. I'm very, very proud of you on that. Here's the point. If the Giants beat the Packers... Then they play the Cowboys, which will be the Cowboys' first playoff game of this season. And I know you ain't picking the Cowboys to beat the Giants, which means that the Cowboys might not end up winning a playoff game, which would just be so beautiful. It would just touch me.
Just a quick math lesson. I know you're an educated man.
Not Ivy
Let's say
League,
the Giants are 60% likely to beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
That makes them a nice little favorite. And let's say I also believe they're 60% likely to beat the Dallas Cowboys. What are the odds that they actually beat the Dallas Cowboys? That's 60 times 60. That's 36%. That's under 50-50. See how it works? I think they'll beat Green Bay. I think they have a good chance to beat Green Bay. That is a tough matchup because of Aaron Rodgers. If they do, I think they have a good chance to beat the Cowboys better than anyone else, as good as the Cowboys are, although they played 2 very close games that could have gone either way. Very tough to beat a team 3 times. But the odds that both of those things are going to happen are less likely than they are likely.
I got you. So you're giving me odds.
Empiricism.
All I know is he said Dallas is the favorite in the NFC.
And I'm saying to you, I'm not even the empiricist to you. I'm not even getting on you about that. What I'm getting on you about is that history, numbers, facts are what you usually lean on, but I'm using it now and you getting on me because you want to stick to the present day. See, I'm just watching the switch. That's all I'm trying to say.
All right, gentlemen. First take on ESPN, just getting started.